know we're gonna get rowdy, right? We know we're gonna have a fucking mosh pit tonight, yeah? Serious. I wanna see.
Hip hop means to me, well, thus far, it's proven to me to be a journey more than anything. At each individual stage in my life, it must have meant something different to me. What it means to me now is hard to define because I have a great, I find it really hard to define what hip hop means to itself right now.
And the only reason it's the first time I've been here is because I've been somewhere else getting indulged in bad things. But this year I said to myself, fuck that shit. It's time to represent hip hop once more. Put your peace signs in the fucking air, man. Do you know the words to this song? Do my ad-libs for me, yeah?
What attracted me to the hip hop culture is, in my case, it was circumstances. I was born in Brooklyn, and my father had moved to the Bronx, and I was totally surrounded by it, to a point that the Rocksteady crew used to come and break on my block. You know, like, people would see them in the movies, and there they were, like, there and hanging out and stuff. So that and graffiti trains, like, I would see the scene trains, the 6 train rolling through right when I would go to school. I would look at it and, you know, stuff like, because I was in the Bronx at the right time. It was the circumstances. That was it.
See, he grew up in it, or he was living at that time in the epicenter of hip hop culture, New York. I was living in Florida, dirt roads, country, you know what I mean? So hip hop for me was a whole different experience, you know. The Adidas and Levi's and the fly clothes and all of those kind of things was nowhere around.
I grew up listening to kind of punk and hardcore, and hip hop felt like the American cousin of the UK punk scene to me. It felt like the voice of people that couldn't get their voice out there any other way. A lot of it, like when I first started listening, it was political, it was angry, it was passionate.
My older brother would listen to it, and you know, as a kid, you generally, much as you never admit it, you look up to your older brother. I mean, the disenfranchised message of hip hop kind of attracted me. Plus, there was loads of swear words, and I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, you love swear words as a kid, and I don't know, for whatever reason, it spoke to me and all that bullshit. I just fucking loved it from 8 years old, long time.
As a kid growing up, it weren't many things that I was ever proud of, and there wasn't many things that I felt like I could be proud of. And the only thing I was ever really feeling like I could do well was get myself into trouble. And then when I learned how to rap and stuff, it was impressive to other people, and I could see the effect it was having on people. And it also gave me a little bit of popularity, and it stopped people looking at the state of my clothes and hair, and they started giving me a break from all that stuff and started saying, oh, there's that kid who can do some rapping, let's get him to do a rap for us. So for me, on that level, just on a small level as a child, it was a great character building affair. And then in later life, it's obviously kept me alive for this long. I've never had to work a day in my life.
I first got into actually writing bars when I was 16. So I'm 26 now, so that's 10 years ago. Unfortunately, I went to jail, and I came out when I was about 20 years old. Even though I'd been trapped in a very barbaric place, I've been doing a lot of reading, and I've been doing a lot of rapping on the yard, you know what I mean? And even in jail, I was cultivating my own style, and I was coming with like multi-syllable, multi-layered, metaphoric kind of bars. But you know, guys really loved it in jail. They told me, you know, you could be something.
I started rhyming just to be somebody, to make people notice me at the party and not be just the new kid that's albino. Make them say, yeah, I know, but have you heard him rhyme? No. Now I take that same party around the globe, and my story's connected with a lot of folks. I hope so, because that's the only thing that I know. I know him so well, I tell him with my eyes closed, and I go with the feeling from the start. I'm blind in the eyes, so I see it with my heart. To me, all of y'all look exactly the same. Fear, faith, compassion, and pain. And try as we made a mask it with names such as your religion or your class or your race.
The sound of it, you know, I love soul music. To me, I'm fully American, you know what I mean? And American music comes from the spirituals that enslaved people were singing as a way of coping with this position that they were forced into. and it was their souls coming out. Jazz and blues and R&B and hip hop and soul and funk and gospel, you know, and rock and roll were all created from this tradition of people singing their souls and affirming their humanity.
The first sound that you hear is the beat. That's the first sound you hear is the heartbeat. Doom, doom, doom. You know, that's the most universal language, you know, in existence.
I can go to another place in another country with someone who doesn't speak my language, who looks differently, from a different ethnicity, from a different upbringing, and we can bop our head the same way to a beat. More than any history class or anything I've ever taken in school or anything, it's been first-hand experience. I'm dealing with different types of people and their culture and how we all relate through this drum beat. Crazy.
What hip hop did that no other music had done, right, is say the beat is out front. You know what I mean? Because that boom, but we all doing this, we all nodding. And the drum, if we remember, was the first call to action. You know, that's ancient in all our DNA, and hip hop remembered that.
I just remember being a kid and pounding rhythms on the couch or the desk at school, and it just seeming so accessible. Whereas I used to take piano lessons, and that would be all difficult and tedious and frustrating, and I'd be no good at it. But I could, you know, mimic Run DMC with my hands.
It cuts away all those things that divide us, like, oh, it's a ukulele, or it's a banjo, or, you know, it's violins. I ain't got no money for no violin, you know.
There's instruments there, I don't know what that is or how that, you know what I mean, I can't compute how that works, but with hip hop, it's like, I know that what they're doing is talking, and I get that, I can talk.
Hip hop, so all you need is boom, boom, boom. If you ain't even got a table to beat on, you do it with your mouth.
You use a pen to draw pictures. We use it to write scriptures. We smoke green, that's the color of eucalyptus. I'm a freestyler, nobody can flip this. Get a witness. To be honest, anytime I talk, I grind along the sidewalk with my gums like Tony Hawk.
It's not a particular thing that attracted me to the culture, other than I heard the music and was hooked immediately. Like, it's just as soon as I heard it, that was it. So for me, it's always been just about the music. Like, I appreciate the other elements of hip hop, but for me, it's just all about the MC and the beat. It's just, that's why I'm hooked. Like, that's just in my head constantly, every day.
You know, hip hop means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, you know? So you got the people, the graffiti writers, the break dancers, the rappers, you know, the DJs, and to me, I'm a lyricist. So you know, the hip hop part to me is the rapping, and to me, it's all lyricism and lyrical and flows, and who could be the best at their craft, and this big competitive thing. You know, it's like who could be the best, and that's hip hop to me. Somebody else might say, oh, hip hop to me is DJing the party and rocking a house. And, you know, everybody got, you know, hip hop's a lot of different things to a lot of people. So to me, it's lyricism.
Sometimes it's just the words, like same as when I was a kid. If rhymes were magical to me back then, they still really drive a lot of my writing. Where I'm inspired by how certain phrasings fit together, and it almost seems like they were meant to be that way.
There's never been any one thing that's made me want to write. I guess, you know, frustration and pain, that kind of, my way of dealing with any frustration and pain that comes my way is to write about it. You know, just talk about my thought patterns in abstract ways, and then there's some more very literal, you know, I'm waking up at 6 with my kids right now, so I'm really tired, but I've just got to write about it.
And when I come across as political, maybe there's something in politics that's really getting to me, and it will always find its way into my writing, because you put your pen on the page, subconscious comes out as much as your direct action, like your direct, the front thoughts go there. Running out of words. My front thoughts fall onto the page, but then the back thoughts find their way there too.